I'm Leith, Lee, sometimes known to my family as Lily. I'm mother to Sam and Elliot, and right now I'm finishing, hopefully soon, a physio degree. I've been at Gracegate for quite a long time. So we lived in Australia for about 9 years, and I was a pop in and pop out kind of person. So when I was home, I'd come to church with the Jones family. Faith for me when I was little was really strong, and it wasn't really something that I was taught. It was quite a beautiful and natural thing for me. I was a godmother to my brother, and that was okay, except for kind of the wheels fell off in his life. And I had made this promise to God in this big cathedral that I would, if things didn't go well, that I'd stand in as his godparent. And life got crazy in my family. It just went kind of like, and things were really hard for him. He had a lot of suffering. And so I felt a big separation that I hadn't done my job, that I had broken this promise. And I've had a spiritual relationship that's been really significant with Jesus for a long time. But I was really grumpy with religion, There are things in this broken world that are like wrong and not right. And Charlotte Gamble talks about, what Bible character would you be? And I've always felt that I'd been that Zacchaeus tax collector that's in the sycamore tree. And I've kind of stood on the outskirts at Gracegate for a long time and really seen that it's not just words, that you don't have to believe to belong. Like, I've really experienced the truth of belonging and not having to declare a faith to get to be part of things, and absolutely no perfect people. And that's really sustained and nourished and been deeply significant to me and my family. Coming to faith again as an adult and deepening it, there's the part that's your heart, and then there's the part that's your mind. And I think the challenge is adding them together. And I have had the privilege and the blessing and the absolute delight to find a church that really lives out loving God and loving Jesus here in Gracegate, and also a beloved church to me in Sydney of Wayside. I found that I was in the driver's seat quite a lot. Someone shared at church recently that their faith journey, that Jesus was in the front seat, and sometimes that they'd be driving, and sometimes Jesus would be driving, and sometimes it was a wrestle, and I really related to that. And I think where I'm at is, he's been in the car for a long time, but I've been doing a lot of driving, and it's been quite effortful, and I'm ready to not drive anymore. One of the things that I really want to offer gratitude and thanks for is every person that has been baptised at Gracegate. That testimony and story and conviction has really touched me. My faith journey was really deepened when I was part of Gracegate. My husband Brett got cancer, and there's another Bible story that really came to not just a thought, but a real lived experience, and that was cancer's a wild journey, and Brett had chemotherapy and surgery, and then the cancer returned and he passed. So that's pretty big. And it was wild storms, and I was in the boat with Jesus, and the faith that I had at the time was good enough for God's peace to find me. And I felt that faith be used by God and wrap around Brett and offer him peace as he took his journey home. And it was really profound experience for me, and it was what I needed at the time. And since Brett passed away, Sam has really got to see firsthand how Gracegate has loved me and our family and Sam and Elliot really deeply and really fully, and with no expectation of return, and that has been really moving. Every time I saw someone baptized, I was just so excited and thought that it was so beautiful. And I think if you see that in somebody else's story, in any form, there's a calling in that. And I noticed that I found myself thinking that other people, if only they would surrender, and if they'd see, there was all this help there for them, or how God sees them. And then I turned that round for myself and went, well, what about if I surrendered and let go? What beautiful things could wait for me around the corner? I think if you're called, take the next step. There's probably people that I would deeply like to thank. If you're in church, you're one of the people that I'd like to thank. Like how we all do life together in faith, in its majestical and amazing tapestry, totally blows my mind. And there's specific people to pick out as well. And, basically, if I'm in your heart, you're in my heart. But Wes and Zales, Aurette, Shay, Brie and Blair, Kayla and Brooke, Charmaine and Rob. The Jones family have walked with me a long, long, long way, and particularly Roz, who has had a very deep and abiding faith and love of people and love of God. And that's really touched me. The light of God shines through her in so many beautiful ways. One of the beautiful things about being part of Gracescape for a long time is that so many people are woven into my story, and I'm woven into their story. And I think that's how church is really meant to be. And so I started with a withhold from God about what religion is and what I see in this broken world. And I find myself in a church that truly, is human, but really living out what God's love is. One of the things of letting go and letting God is that it's His plan, and that it's wondrous and magnificent in ways I can't even imagine. And the biggest thing for me is to let go. Today, I absolutely declare my faith, my surrender, that I put my life on the bedrock of God, that I'm in a living and personal relationship with Jesus, and I am excited to be baptized.